Alright, Nerd Army, get ready. It's going to be a bumpy one today. As always, I'm Nerdy number 3, and I'm going to do a review on a semi-recent movie that I believe this movie has been underrated, meaning that this movie has been given a lower rating than I believe it should have been. So welcome to my first review. So how these are going to work is that I'm going to explain a bit of the movie's plot, and then I'm going to tell you how I feel it should have been rated, and explain my reasons why. Make sure to subscribe to become a part of the Nerd Army if you haven't already, and give this video a like if you enjoy my reviews, and think that I should do them more often. The movie that I'm going to be putting into the spotlight today is Gemini Man, starring the Fresh Prince himself, Will Smith. Spoilers are coming at you now. Gemini Man is about this man named Henry Brogan. He's a 51-year-old assassin that is ready to retire. He receives the task of his 72nd assignment. However, after this assignment is finished, his plans are completely flipped. He becomes the target of a mysterious operative that's been following him around. This operative seems to know everything about Brogan and what his next move will be. Brogan tries to flee the country and get to a safe house. However, the operative follows him as if he knew that he was going to go there. There is an exchange of gunshots and a motorcycle chase scene. It's really intense. Then later on in the movie, it is revealed that it is a younger, faster, cloned version of Brogan. Now, this clone version of Brogan is named Junior. He's been tasked to kill Henry. Junior has been given some of Henry's memories. This, of course, horrifies Brogan because he is faced with the very difficult decision to either kill the younger version of him, Junior, or to actually let Junior do his job and do the task that he was sent out to do, which is to kill him. So either way, he's in a way killing himself. Fast forward to the end of the movie, and we find out something even more shocking. Y'all ain't ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. Tell me when you're ready. Okay, you're ready? There's another clone. What? Another clone. This other clone of Henry is just like Junior, except younger. I did not see that coming. Anyway, this movie ends in a very big bang and a huge way, and I won't spoil that much for those of you who want to watch this movie. That's pretty much the synopsis of the movie, a summary, if you will. So my thoughts seem to really be against the majority, which is that this movie is horrible. I mean, look at the ratings that they gave this movie. Me personally,
Scene 1, Apple, take 2.
I enjoyed this movie. Here's what I think of the movie. Firstly, let me just say that I enjoyed the mocap tracking that they did on Will Smith. And I'll explain what that is later for those of you that don't know. I also loved the effects, visual and sound. I found the plot very interesting. I feel that the name fit pretty well. Let me just break all that down for you. So here we go. Let's start the discussion with the facial, movemental, and the expressional tracking that they did on Will Smith, aka mocap. If you didn't know, when a movie requires very detailed facial expressions of a character, they will hook up the actor to a suit where they can track the movements of the facial expressions or of the movements of the body to make sure that it matches the same way, and then they animate based on that. They put them in these special suits called motion capture suits, which is mocap for short. You can see these exampled in movies such as The Planet of the Apes, the newest Aladdin, the newest Beauty and the Beast, Avatar, and The Avengers. So a lot of movies have used these. Actually, most movies have used these if they're animated or have any requirement of animation at all. This piece of technology and this piece of equipment is a very good piece of technology for the world of cinema because we get to add detailed expressions. It takes into account facial expressions, body movements, and other things to ensure that it makes whatever it is that you're trying to put that face on or that movement onto obeys the laws of physics and does motions as one would do. So this piece of technology is very interesting and extraordinary to use. Many directors love using this piece of technology because it gives a realistic feel to the movie. As an actor, when you're doing this, you have to ensure that you're doing something that the creature, object, or person would do in that moment to ensure that it looks alright by the time that they're animating what they need to animate. As an editor and a director, you have to ensure that you are getting the actor to do everything right, and you're doing that actor right by serving up a animation that is perfectly orchestrated, or at least close to perfect. You have to ensure that you're using all the effects that you were told to use or given to use, and that you're using all of the collected data from the character designers and the costume designers, and having all of the corresponding expressions that will not reveal itself as something other than what it actually is in the final product. In this particular movie, it must have been a little more difficult to make Will Smith seem younger than he actually was. We all saw Will Smith as a 20-year-old. He started acting as a 20-year-old and instantly got famous, and he is currently 51 years old. The fact that we know what he looks like makes it more difficult for the editors and the animators to de-age that face. It seemed very close. Very, very close. I mean, look at the two side by side, and you'll see that it came very close. It just wasn't there. It just wasn't quite there. There was something missing. At some points in the movie, Junior did look computerized. So it was like 1 second of the movie, you think he's an actual person, and then in the next shot, you feel like you're watching a video game gameplay, because of the fact that he doesn't look too real in some points due to contrasting shadows or contrasting lights. They did a pretty decent job, but I feel like it could have been a bit better when it came to the lighting and the shadows, because the contrasting was not making it seem realistic. It made it seem more like a video game. So the editing from the mocap suit, I would give it about 2.5 mini 3s on the mini 3 scale. Not that bad, but not too great. Going on to the visual effects. The visual effects of this movie were insane. They made me feel like I was getting shot at. They made me feel like I was in explosions. It was a good action movie to become a part of. And when a movie does that to you, to where you feel like you're actually in the movie, I would say it's a good movie. I'm the type of person during the movie that will express how I feel about the movie during the movie. I felt that I was actually dragged into the movie without my permission. So, where's my check? Because I feel like I was in that movie. I'm not the best person to watch a movie with if you want to get through the entire movie. I will talk during the movie, and I know that's bad, but it's because I like to express how I'm feeling about the movie during the movie. I was literally yelling at the movie and feeling like I was a part of this movie. So I'd say that the visual effects of this movie were about a 4.5 out of 5. However, with the sound effects, I'd give them about a 4. Some of the sound effects were just a little bit off when it came to tracking it. Like the gun would shoot and just a millisecond later it would make a sound. As a former cinema student, I can see stuff like that. It made me go like, what? In the middle of the movie. It did throw me off a bit, but for the most part, they had it on time. Also, some of the effects I feel were not right for the movie or the sound that it was supposed to be made for. But for the most part, they did pretty well when it came to putting sound effects into this movie. Moving on, the plot of the movie was very interesting. It was an interesting choice. It was something new, at least to me. I don't know if you guys have read a book or something that was sort of relating to this type of plot, but it's unheard of to me. A man being hunted by his younger self is just a very interesting concept. There was just a few too many holes in the composition of this movie that made me stop in the middle of the movie and be like, what? I don't understand. Some of the movie was a bit distracting due to the unsynced effects or the shoddy job of the mocap transfer. But other than that, the plot was pretty stable and easy to follow. The twists of the movie came at the perfect times, and it made people, well, at least people in my family, be like gasping and being like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that. A few of the compositions of this movie that made me feel like it was a bit distracting. The story and the background of the people in the film were very stable. The ending did leave a lot more questions than answers. Some movies do that to infer that there's going to be a second one, but there's no confirmed second one in this case, so we don't know. We'll have to see on that. That doesn't make this movie a bad movie, however. It actually shows me the complex understanding that I have for movies. It shows me, hey, I noticed this, but nobody else noticed this, so maybe I am the only one that noticed it because of the understanding that I have already in cinema. I did enjoy this movie. It was a very interesting movie, and the plot was a very interesting choice. Some of the visuals, like I said, did throw me off a bit, and it just shows the company what they can improve on when it came to visuals and sounds and everything like that. I'd like to think of the ratings as something that they can improve on rather than something to be taken harshly. The plot by itself, I'd like to give this movie about 4.5 mini 3s out of 5, which isn't that bad. Let's talk about the name of this film. I feel like the name of this film was perfect for the film itself, Gemini Man. This film is one of the few films that I feel were properly named. If you think that it is named Gemini Man because of the fact that Henry could be a Gemini, you would be dead wrong. The film name doesn't actually refer to Henry at all. It actually refers to Junior. How so? Well, Gemini means the twins in Latin. So I know that doesn't really mean anything to you, but let's think about this here. If you were to take Gemini Man, it would literally mean twin man. Or how this movie puts it, a clone or a replication of Henry. This Gemini Man actually refers to Junior rather than Henry. I feel like the name itself was perfect for this film and only this film. If I had given this film a name, it probably would have ended up being something similar to Gemini Man, if not Gemini Man. The title itself subtly hints at what the film is about. Henry has a Gemini Man, and then Junior also has a Gemini Man. And it's very interesting to think that they named this film not about Henry, but about Junior. Because without Junior, technically there would be no film. He would have retired. I feel like it would get 5 mini 3s out of 5. Because it's just perfectly named. What did you all think of Gemini Man? Leave that in the comments below. I'm looking forward to seeing what all of you have to say. Do you believe that I rated this movie and reviewed this movie very fairly based on the evidence that I provided to you? And should I do a theory on it? Because I may have one in the works already. You just gotta let me know if I should release it. Leave all that in the comments down below. I'll be reading every single comment, maybe replying to every single one, so you'll never know unless you try. Well, there's so many questions and so little time. Until next time, Nerd Army. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like. I guess that's it. Remember, my theories are just that, theories. See you later, and remember to subscribe to become a part of the Nerd Army if you haven't already. We want to get to about 100 subscribers. So if we can get to 100 subscribers, I may have a little surprise up my sleeve for you guys. With that being said, see you later. Peace. Here's today's shout out. If you want a shout out, here's how to get one. Click the subscribe button, make sure to turn on your post notifications, and hit that like button. But don't forget to comment. Then boom, you will get a post notification shout out.